Hello and welcome to Brickwork Ratings, yet another podcast series. Today we have a very eminent guest with us from the energy sector, Mr. Anil Joshi. He is the president of GSPC LNG. He'll be talking about the energy, oil and gas industry, how the industry is coping up with the prevailing challenges during pandemic. And we are very happy to invite you here. And sir, welcome to the session.
Thank you for the invitation and look forward to the session.
So we'd like to start the session with understanding how has been the impact on this of lockdown on gas trading business, and how much time do you see the revival might take, for the demand specifically to go back to pre-COVID levels.
See, the direct impact of the lockdown on the natural gas business in India was primarily in the city gas distribution segment, because that segment was hardest hit. There was some impact on fertilizer, petrochemical and refinery sector also, but the primary impact was on that. Now, to illustrate, the pre-lockdown gas consumption level were of the order of around 153.2 million cubic meter per day. This was the level at which the usage was in February. Then immediately once the lockdown started in April, there was a huge dip and the demand went down to 130 million cubic meter per day. So this was in April. But from May, as the unlock measures started, the demand kept coming back. And by August, the demand had come back to the level of 148 million cubic meter per day. And now the latest, in fact, PPAC, the Planning Appraisal Committee's figure is that in September, the demand has recovered back to pre-COVID levels. So this is, today there is no reduction in demand. Of course, you can argue that there could have been some growth in this year because usually there is a YOY growth. So that has not happened, but we are back to pre-COVID levels. And I'm sure that in the next quarter, we may even see an incremental growth over the corresponding volume of last year.
Great. Sir, that's really nice to hear that we are already, one sector is already, back to the pre-COVID levels, and we see a good growth coming in. So here we'd like to understand what role is the Gujarat state government playing in, maybe developing more infrastructure so that we can have some more growth numbers coming in for the country.
See, historically, Gujarat has played a very proactive role in the development of gas and oil sector in India. And this is not today, it is something which started in late 60s and 70s when the discoveries were made by ONGC in gas and oil field. And by mid 80s when the Bassein to Hazira line came, bringing in also Bombay High gas to the state at the landfall point in Hazira. So a robust infrastructure utilizing gas was being built up in this state from 80s onwards. It got a further fully from 2000 onwards when the GSPC group company GSPL started building a very wide network of pipeline within the state, because otherwise it was only some major industrial belt, Halol, Kalol, and that belt was covered. But GSPL soon in the period from 2000 to 2015 made a very extensive kilometer of pipelines, first within the state and now in fact some outside the state. Because to have a larger share of gas market, the pipeline plays a very important role. And parallelly, there was another initiative taken, LNG sector, because the domestic gas production was limited. So import was the only way to enhance the utilization share of gas in the market. So the first LNG terminal in the country was set up at Dahej, of course by central PSUs, but within Gujarat. And that also Gujarat government's proactive policy of port development had a role to play in that. The second LNG terminal was developed at Hazira, again within Gujarat, and that was developed by a private player. And in fact, Mundra, then because there was a backward integration requirement with the GSPC group being a very large player in the gas sector, there was a need for GSPC group to have its own terminal. And that's how the Mundra LNG terminal came into being. So you can see, because of these things, Gujarat is way ahead as far as the share of gas in the domestic primary energy consumption is needed. Why India is averaging around 6.5 to 7%. That is the share of gas in the primary energy consumption. Gujarat already is at 25%. And you can appreciate this much better by comparing it with Government of India's hydrocarbon vision. That vision puts that by 2030 we should reach 15% nationally. So Gujarat today already is where India will be 10 years down the line. So that is all because of Gujarat government's proactive policy of promoting infrastructure development, and the results are there to say.
Great. Sir, I would also like to understand, since we have heard about a lot of positive ends and seeing this Gujarat developing at such a good pace, would like to understand what are the key issues or any challenges the sector has faced recently.
Well, the key issues and challenges in this sector are basically, first of all, you need to have the availability of gas supply. If domestic gas alone is not sufficient, you need to, of course, have a proactive policy to encourage investment in the exploration and production sector, which is done by the new exploration licensing policy. Then you have to have a policy which facilitates import of LNG if the domestic gas alone is not sufficient. Then infrastructure availability, that is very important. Infrastructure either by way of pipelines or by way of LNG terminals. So both are important. If infrastructure is not there, gas cannot reach the consumer, because gas cannot be stored in a natural gas form for a long period of time. The last mile connectivity to consumers, that is also very important. So it is not just the main trunk lines which play a role, it is the small pipeline. Then to have a more freer competitive market, because it is the competition in the market which will bring down the price of fuel for the consumers. So there is a requirement that there should be unbundling, that the companies which have marketing rights or they are marketing and they are transporting, they should not be the same. So some amount of unbundling helps, or there should be free competition, so that and also in this regard, trading over gas exchanges has a very important role to play. So on that also now beginning has been made, and a gas exchange has been set up, because we have seen in power sector, learning from that power sector, the trading played a very vital role in ensuring that if somebody has a requirement for power and the other person has power available, the two can come together. The same role the gas exchange is going to play in the gas sector. Then it is very important to have tax reforms, because currently gas is not under GST. So that is a dampener as far as the sector is concerned. So I think tax reforms are also going to help in furthering the share of natural gas in primary energy consumption. Then emphasis to create additional demands, that is also very important, because it is a clean fuel. So there has to be some priority given to it compared to coal or even liquid hydrocarbons. Gas is a much cleaner fuel. So all these measures are important, and these are the key challenges in gas sector.
So since you spoke about the important part here, that GST might come in soon, and these reforms will probably help the sector to improvise more. So are you expecting any other policy measures coming from the government to... Sir, are you not able to hear me?
I'm sorry.
So, sir, just understanding the concerns which you recently mentioned about GST coming in. So, are you expecting any more policy measures from the government to address such challenges? Except GST coming in for energy sector as well?
See, GST, to put a timeline is difficult. Government has recognized the need for it. Maybe if the pandemic would not have happened, because pandemic has slightly complicated the things. You are aware that government is already to compensate the states for the loss of GST because of the new regime. And when gas will come under GST, there are some dynamics involved, because there are certain states like Gujarat which are producing states of natural gas. So and not so there will be some imbalance which the government will have to address. So in principle, government is ready to bring in GST. Timing wise, we'll have to wait, and it is very difficult from my side to put an estimate on what the timing could be. I can say it would happen within 2021-22, definitely, the next financial year.
Okay, okay. Sir, and how is the demand and supply scenario for LNG, specifically in the state of Gujarat and also for the whole of India? Now, since you mentioned that you have already reached to pre-COVID levels, we'd like to understand how exactly is the supply side playing here.
See, there has been one very interesting factor in the boost of gas demand. Okay, so as far as GST for natural gas is concerned, it will happen. Government is very clear that this has to be carried out. It is only a question of timing. And probably if the pandemic would not have happened, it could have come even early. It could have been there by this time. But the pandemic has put its own stress in the GST collections on government. And when natural gas will be put up to GST, it will have to devise a mechanisms to compensate the states who are gas producers and all. So I see that there could be some time taken. It is very difficult to say when it will happen, but I am sure that within the next financial year, this long-standing demand of gas sector to bring the natural gas under GST will be implemented by the government. So it's a question of when and not if.
Right. Sir, now I'd like to understand the demand supply scenario. You already spoke about the measures coming in, which are GST, and we are expecting that to come in by next financial year, as you mentioned. So, how do you see the demand and supply scenario for LNG in the state of Gujarat and also for the whole of India?
See, the demand supply scenario depends upon the increased use of natural gas in two very critical sectors. One is the city gas distribution sector, which would also have a subset, the transport sector. Because you see, India is a net importer of hydrocarbons. Diesel and motor spirit, they are a very large component which is primarily used in the automobile sector. So if we can replace some of this liquid fuel by a more environment friendly and at times cheaper imported LNG, then it will boost up the use of natural gas further. Already government is working to make gas corridor along national highway. For example, there is a talk that New Delhi to Bombay running through Gujarat, they will be putting CNG stations on the highway itself. Then there are transportation heavy volume areas like Kandla to Ahmedabad, Mundra to Ahmedabad, taking into account that there are LNG terminals available within Gujarat. So CNG stations can be put along these highways so that the trucks and all, instead of running on diesel, they start running fuel. Then even in coastal transportation, whether in inland waterways, authorities working on a proposal to switch to gas from diesel for some of its areas, and similarly even ferries can run on natural gas. So this will boost the share of natural gas further. The second thing is that if in power sector, if gas utilization increases, because there are significant amount of already gas-based power plants which are set up, but because the imported gas was not economical from the pricing point of view over coal, these plants were not able to run. But with the lowering of gas price, imported gas price, now these plants are utilizing natural gas. So that is going to give a further fillip to increase of the natural gas share in the Indian energy basket. From the infrastructure point of view, you can see that within Gujarat also, while Mundra has come, there are 2 more LNG terminals being developed within our state. One is Chhara, which is being developed by Afcons Group along with HPCL. And then there is another private promoter which is working on an FSRU-based terminal in Jafrabad. So 2 terminals are going to come in Gujarat in the next 5 years. And even if you talk from the point of view of India, there is another FSRU-based terminal planned at Jaigarh by a private promoter, which could come in the next couple of years. And then Dhamra is being developed on the east coast by Total Adani, that is already under construction, and that would be ready in another maybe 15 months or so. So you can see that new LNG terminals are coming, pipelines are also coming. The Urja Ganga scheme of Government of India, which is going to connect the northern and eastern states like East UP, Bihar and all, which did not have good connectivity. So all these measures are going to boost further the share of natural gas in the market.
Great. Sir, before we let you go, I would like to ask you one last question. Sir, what role is GLL playing in ramping up the LNG capacity in the country?
See, as you can see, GLL's first role was that it gave a much needed LNG terminal in a part of Gujarat where there was no LNG terminal, because the existing LNG terminals, both Dahej and Hazira, were in South Gujarat. And we could see very quickly that the Mundra LNG terminal, within 6 months of its start of operation, reached a capacity level exceeding 40%. In fact, the terminal is running almost at 42 to 45% of its capacity. Now, there are 2 things which I will compare in order for everybody to appreciate this. One is that this is the fastest ramp up of any LNG terminal in the country since Dahej phase 1. And that was the first LNG terminal of 2004, which had the first mover advantage because there was no existing terminal, so the market was open for them. B, the Mundra LNG terminal is currently running at a capacity which is more than what Kochi is running, what Ennore in Tamil Nadu is running, and what Dabhol in Maharashtra is running. And these terminals have been in existence for the past 5 to 8 years. So a new terminal, because that is, of course, the advantage is that the excellent network of GSPC and GSPL within the state of Gujarat, so in fact, the network of Morbi and further. But the terminal itself has very quickly risen up to meet the challenges, and it is importing, in fact, mostly spot cargoes are coming. So different type of cargoes are being handled at terminal. We have handled 21 ships. And of these 21 ships, 21 cargoes, we had 20 different ships coming in, and very different composition of LNG coming in. So all these challenges this terminal has met up and is contributing to the development of gas market in Gujarat.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for all the insights on how the LNG transmission has been happening, how the demand is, how supply is. We look forward to more such sessions with you where we can understand more insights in this sector. Thank you so much on behalf of Brickwork Ratings as well as on my behalf. It was a great pleasure speaking to you.
Same here also, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak, and all the best to you in your future endeavors. Thanks.
Thank you so much.